Tikku hated rats. His mother had told him how rats brought disease and sickness wherever they went. Tikku himself had seen rats in his building compound. His father had often called the municipality to get rid of those rats. The municipal workers had brought iron cages and placed them in each corner of the building. Tikku's mother had made wheat chapatis which were broken into pieces and placed in each cage. However, not a single rat was caught in this way. Tikku had read somewhere that rats were attracted to cheese, but cheese was expensive in his country. His mother had told him that only Americans could afford to use cheese as a bait to catch rats. Tikku had remained silent at this explanation. Meanwhile, the rat problem in the building became worse day by day. Rats came and went at will in the compound. All the children in the building were scared. Finally, a parents' meeting was held to discuss the problem. It was decided that a cat was needed for the building. Soon a cat was purchased and let loose in the compound. However, the cat too could not solve the rat problem. The building tenants did not know what to do. One day Tikku chanced to climb the stairs to reach his flat. As he reached the end of the stairway, he saw a rat squatting outside the flat door. Tikku was terrified. He made a wild movement with his arms, but the rat merely escaped to the next door. When Tikku told his mother about the rat, she burst into tears. Tikku felt very sad. A week went by. Tikku's exams were approaching. Every evening Tikku sat in his room with his books and refused to come out till he completed his studies. Raja, his 10-year-old servant, brought him dinner in his room. One evening Tikku was having dinner in his room. The windows were open and a gentle breeze was blowing in. As Tikku lifted his face from the food tray to catch the breeze, he saw a strange sight. A big, blackish-brown rat jumped from the ledge to the window sill and dropped quickly into his room. Tikku held his breath. The rat hid itself behind a sofa. Tikku jumped onto his bed and yelled for Raja. Raja, who was minding the house in his parents' absence, took his time to reach Tikku's room. He was not the least frightened. Raja simply took a broom and reached behind the sofa. The rat jumped onto the sofa and from there onto the windowsill. Before Tikku could say anything, the rat disappeared into the darkness outside the window. Tikku was dumbfounded. He was also ashamed when he saw Raja moving about calmly. From then on, Tikku's mother told him to keep the window shut in the evenings. Tikku felt miserable. Thereafter he ate little and lost weight as a result. His parents were worried. One evening Tikku was thirsty. As he paused on his way to the kitchen, he saw Raja, the houseboy, cutting bread and meat and throwing little pieces now and then into the building compound. When Raja saw Tikku enter, he stopped abruptly and went outside. Though it was getting dark, Tikku could see several sleek rats crowd around the food pieces thrown down by Raja. They were nibbling away on the food without the least fear. Tikku was shocked. In a flash, Tikku realized that it was Raja and the other servants in the building who were to blame for the rat problem. Only servants threw out food from the homes they worked in to feed rats and crows. That is why the rats had lost fear of the people in the building. Tikku told his parents about the incident and they in turn told the neighbors. The tenants of the building held another meeting. It was decided to punish all servants who fed rats with a fine and a warning. Within a week the rats disappeared from the building compound and all the children, including Tikku, resumed their games and studies. A lone traveler was passing through a desert on a hot day. He was tired, feeling thirsty and hungry too. At least, he needed a shady spot to rest for a while. A big leafy tree came into view at some distance away. He felt glad and said to himself, "Had I water to drink, now?" Yes, he found a tumbler full of cold water on the ground right in front of him. He sat down there and started sipping the water. Then, he wished, "Had I something to eat, right here?" Immediately, a variety of dishes appeared before him. He was under the shade of Kalpavriksha, a magical tree. That was the wishing tree. Whoever was under it would have whatever he wished for. The traveler enjoyed the delicious food. He felt drowsy. He wished for a nice bedstead. It was granted. He stretched himself comfortably on the soft mattress. His legs ached, as he had walked a long distance. He hoped that someone would massage his feet. Yes, a young lady appeared near his field. She started massaging his feet and legs. He soon fell asleep. After a long time he woke up. The lady was still sitting beside him. He now started thinking differently. How can things happen like this? Can I have things I wished for by merely asking for them? Is it some kind of a trick played by a magical demon? He doubted. Oh, a true demon appeared in place of the nice lady. The demon was laughing mischievously at him. The traveler said to himself, "Is he going to eat me up?" Within no time the demon started leaping at him, with his mouth wide open. The frightened traveler took to his heels and ran away. He ran and ran for long. When he looked back there was no demon. What is all this? Did things really happen? Or was it all mere a dream? The traveler started wondering. Perhaps Almighty grants what one has in mind. He resumed his journey. One fine day Divya woke her mother up and said, "Mummy, it is so long since you made my favorite coconut butter, please make it today." Mummy was in a good mood and so she smiled and said, "All right dear, I will keep it ready for you by the time you are back from school." Divya went to school with a big smile on her face and spent the entire day dreaming about the delicious coconut burfis. Meanwhile that afternoon, her elder brother, Dhruv, came home with his friends. Mummy had gone to the market and he found a plate full of freshly made burfis on the kitchen platform. He decided to give his friends a treat and within minutes the plate was empty. Just then Mummy ran up and told Dhruv to give Divya a burfi when she came back from school. Poor Dhruv, how was he to know that the burfis were made especially for Divya? A naughty idea struck him and he left his pet frog on the plate and placed a lid over it. He left the house chuckling. Divya got home in the evening, eagerly went into the kitchen and opened the plate. A pair of eyes glistened at her. 4-year-old Divya was shocked. She went to her mother and asked, "Mummy, do burfis have eyes?" "Certainly not," said Mummy, "go on and eat the burfis." This time when she went and removed the lid, a frog jumped right at her. The poor little girl jumped back in fright and went crying to her mother. She told her mother about the frog who consoled her and waited for Dhruv to get back that night. When he came, she took him to task and made him apologize to Divya. The next day Mummy made some more coconut burfis, and this time little Divya more than got her fill.